If you're making music with AI, I'm sure you've seen this happen. A mystery track just drops out of nowhere, it's an absolute heater, and everybody loves it. But then comes the reveal. It was made with AI. And just like that, the whole conversation flips. The song is exactly the same, but the story changed. And that right there is the core of what we're digging into today, the reveal problem. It's this predictable, almost painful cycle, right? First, you get the heater. The track just lands perfectly, streams are blowing up, people are genuinely vibing with it. Then, the reveal. Someone figures out that AI was a huge part of the process. And that leads almost immediately to the backlash, where all those fire emojis get replaced with accusations of being fake or misleading. So, what is actually going on in our brains when this happens? Well, we can call it the authorship switch. Listeners, they think they're connecting with a person, a human with a story and a soul. But when they find out they were actually connecting with a process, it trips a trust wire. It creates this weird cognitive dissonance, a feeling of being misled, even if the music itself hasn't changed one bit. And look, this reaction, it isn't just random online hate. There are some really deep-seated human factors at play here. And understanding these is the absolute key to avoiding that backlash in the first place. So let's break down the 4 big reasons why this reveal stings so much. First up, perceived deception. I mean, when we discover a new artist, we have certain expectations, don't we? We think we're meeting a person. But when it turns out to be more like a generative pipeline, those expectations get violated. It's not even really about the tools. It's about the feeling that the premise we bought into wasn't the whole story. Second, there's something called a parasocial mismatch. As fans, we form these real emotional bonds with artists, with their voice, their face, their story. It's a one-sided thing for sure, but man, it feels real. So when the who behind the music gets fuzzy or algorithmic, that bond just shatters. And it can make people feel like the connection they invested in was a sham. Frankly, it feels like being conned. Okay, so then you've got what are called authenticity heuristics. It's a fancy term for, our mental shortcuts. The little tests we run in our heads to decide if art feels real. We subconsciously ask things like, did they write the lyrics? Or could they actually perform this live? Well, AI completely scrambles these traditional checkpoints, and it leaves listeners confused and, pretty skeptical about whether the art is even legitimate. And finally, let's be real. You cannot ignore the press incentives. A story about a new song being a hit? That's good. But a story about a viral hit being an AI hoax all along? Ooh, that is a much spicier narrative that drives way more clicks. The media is just naturally incentivized to frame the reveal as this big, dramatic gotcha moment. So this is the crucial point, the main takeaway right here. The backlash is almost never about the sound. We all know AI tracks can pass the ear test. They can absolutely be hits. The problem isn't sonic. It is a narrative problem. It's all about the story you tell, or, more importantly, the story you fail to tell right from the start. But here's the good news. If it's a narrative problem, that means there's a narrative solution. This is what we're calling the AI Forward Playbook. It's a set of proactive strategies to frame your work honestly from day one, which lets you dodge that whole gotcha cycle completely. Okay, here are the 5 key moves. Number 1, lead with feeling. Hook 'em with the vibe, with the emotion of the track. Then disclose your method as a cool feature, not some dirty secret. 2, define the act. Are you a producer, a virtual band, a project? Set those expectations clearly. 3, show the work and do it fast. Share quick behind-the-scenes clips of your process. 4, collaborate in public. Involve your audience in creative choices. And 5, make a world. Build a consistent universe with visuals and lore that people can really get invested in. And to make this even easier, let's just look at some disclosure templates you can literally copy and paste for total transparency. No more guesswork, no more ambiguity. Here's a great one-liner for your bio or for the top of a video description. It's just a quick, clear trust signal. It immediately tells people what part was AI and what part was human, and it positions you as the artist who's in control of the whole thing. Now for platforms where you've got like zero space, think TikTok or Instagram Reels, this short-form version is perfect. It's totally transparent, and it funnels the people who are genuinely curious to a place where you can explain more, all without cluttering up your main post. And for a really detailed description like on YouTube, this is the gold standard. This long-form disclosure breaks down your exact workflow. It completely demystifies the process, and honestly, it does a great job of showcasing that blend of AI generation and your own human craftsmanship. Ultimately, it all comes down to this. If the song is good and the story you tell is honest from day one, there's no bombshell to drop. There's absolutely nothing to reveal. And the conversation shifts from, hey, were we tricked, to, wow, this is a really cool new way to create. And that's how you build a brand that can outlive any single tech trend. All right, let's do a super quick recap of the key principles here for building trust and just completely avoiding that whole reveal and backlash cycle. Just remember, the problem is about the story, not the sound. The solution is to be AI forward. Lead with the feeling of the music, then disclose how you made it. Use those clear, upfront templates we talked about. Because at the end of the day, transparency is what builds a real trust, and that trust is way more valuable than any fleeting viral moment. Thanks so much for tuning in. In our next explainer, we're going to get even more practical by looking at sampling yourself. We'll cover how to build a powerful, personal, and, most importantly, legally clean sample library from your own AI tracks. It is a total game changer for your workflow. I'll see you then.